lap, first corner is the most pressure you're going to feel across this whole race. Getting it off the line is one of the toughest things you can do as you get 5 lights up. And the Bathurst Enduro is underway for Sprint 2 with a great start from the front runners at the TMX boys as well inside of the top 10 as they run round turn number 1. You can see Lawrence has got a good start away. They've kept themselves nice, clean and consistent, Sinka. For the final race of the season, it's a scramble towards turn 1 for the front runners and the whole field in behind. Another old lead through one already. Davidson and Sinka wanting to try and keep right on the tail of Doug Dowling. And the rolling was flying up the front already as well. Phase there, Katakazina.
Yes, he did.
Labouring still going at each other here. 3 minutes down, we've got 70 minutes to go. They're going to go round a lot of times. It's 1 minute 21 lap times here. They're not going to stop. Shane Ratcliffe fighting out as well. Ray Oliver's got Bradley Wall alongside. Looks like Daniel Harding has had some form of incident. We'll pick up on that one in a minute. But Oliver on the inside, got to come back behind him.
Further back as we're underway. James Scott will lead them up the hill, up towards turn 1. Can they keep it clean? There's already contact with Dolphin and Stone Street on the straight as they run round turn 2. Dodge and Warboys leading cautious off the exit of turn 1. What a run off the line, but an atrocity has happened to Troy Stone Street off the start. There's no other way to say it, Sinka. I think it was maybe off of the Will Brown and just absolutely Superman punched him straight into the wall on the left hand.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to round 3 of the Warren & Brown Tools Toyota GR86 Nationals. Here we are at the lovely PHILLIP Island circuit. I remember, I think it was last season or the season before, these 86s put up an absolutely incredible night of racing, and hopefully we're in for much the same tonight. As always, let's go ahead and take a look at the point standings before we really get into breaking tonight's action down. The AMS Championship goes like this. Ash Glover holds the point lead over a fantastic night of racing last week. Brent Wassel holds on to P2. Shane Newens for Mahler Racing in P3. Greg Johnson for Team Greg Racing in 4th. Joseph Black for the Koala Cartel in P5, David Bowman with Team Pear Shape Racing, Wayne Edwards with Webb Sim Racing in 7th, Stephanie Bacoli for Apex Esports League in 8th, Brendan Soper 9th for Webb Sim Racing, and Brad Dines for Dine Tune Racing rounds out the top 10 for the AMs. The Pro-Am Championship is led by Christopher Tomlin in for LCR Esports with his teammate Steve Daniels in 2nd. Thomas Sunicina holds on to P3 for SLM Motorsport. Jacob McIntyre for Sim Racing Brotherhood in P4. Elliot D for Team Parachute Racing in 5th. Mark Snow for SLM Academy in 6th. Joshua King for Team SRW Motorsports in 7th. Tyler Sheaf sitting in P8 for SLM Academy, and Cam Hardwick also for SLM, rounding out the top 9 for the Pro-Ams. And the Pro Division, we have a unbelievably close battle for the championship. Doug Gowns is tied for the point lead with Kyle Ridley from SLM Motorsport. Kyle Avery for Team SRW and Cruz McVie of the Koala Cartel are tied for 3rd, 2 points out of the point lead. And then you have Thomas Cooley rounding out the top 5 for the Koala Cartel, only 3 points out of the point lead. James Doyle and Liam Jensen, a couple more Koala Cartel drivers in 6th and 7th. Mitchie Noble for Sim Racing Brotherhood in P8. Greg Cook for Project 36 in P9. Trevor Mortimer rounding out the top 10 for Rogue Racing. Then we have Ray Oliver for SLM. Jacob Trainer for Sim Racing Brotherhood. Brandon Levin for Team SRW. Wayne Reynolds and David Clark both for JWM SimSport rounding out the top 15. Callan Hodgkinson for OPR P16. Sam Katakuzanos in 17th, Daniel Byrne and David Gallo for Carlin's Motorsport, 18th and 19th, and Carter Dines rounding out the top 20 for Dine Tune Racing. Whew, catch my breath after that. Oh, wow, we still have a whole nother page to go. Okay, Liam Amos for Sim Racing Brotherhood. Max Donnelly for NZSR. Timothy Miles in 23rd for Sim Racing Brotherhood. Sean Doyle for Vermilion Esports. Jock Swinepool for SLM Motorsport, rounding out the top 25 with Andrew Lyden for Kittens Racing in 26. Good gracious, how in the world does Sinka get through all that without completely passing out? That is amazing. Anyways, that took us through all the warm-up time, and now we are ready to get started for qualifications. But I gotta bring in my co-announcer for tonight. You might have recognized him from the point standings, Tyler Sheep, hopping into the booth for tonight. How you doing, Tyler?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. How about yourself, James?
Well, I'm doing much the same. Looking forward to tonight. What are you expecting here for PHILLIP Island?
I think it's going to be a bit of a drag fest. It's very important to, stick in the pack. If you're in the pack, and go fast and all by yourself. So, if you're battling at the front, you want to try and break away from that draft to get away from others while they're battling side by side. But it should be, or could be a little bit chaotic, especially in the first lap or two. But once they settle down, it should be a good show.
Absolutely, and also gotta give a shout out to our producer Kobe Jordan for pushing the buttons and doing the honestly doing the hard job. Anyone can flap their gums and scream, but it takes someone of skill to press the buttons and take care of all of that ridiculous, all the software you have to use to keep track of everything. As we are on board with one of the LCR cars, believe that's Kevin Wakefield out on his outlap. Got a long string of cars, everyone trying to keep within the draft. It's interesting, Tyler. PHILLIP Island doesn't seem like a track that would be a draft-heavy race course, but seems to be the case with these 86s.
Yeah, well, definitely the main straight, as you can see Doug Gowans now with the cars behind. This is where the drag really comes in. It's more technical in the back end, but right here, this is really important to stay within that 0.8, 0.9, coming out of the last corner and just sticking to the car behind, because you can gain at least half a second minimum, so it's very important for good quick lap times in qualifying, and also in the race as well, to try not let that car ahead of you go away, because once they break that draft, it is very, very difficult to catch up again.
Yeah, if I didn't know any better, I saw Dougie Gowans trying to do the snake down the front straightaway to break the slipstream, trying not to give the car behind a little bit of help.
That's another thing as well. The first outlap that they do as well is actually official laps as well. So they're just going to be really wary, when they get out there. They've got to try and not only break the gap, but if you make a mistake, it could be very dangerous re-entering, because the drivers will be there at the pit exit as well. So that could also cause a couple of issues as well in qualifying, and someone might impede.
Yeah, that is an excellent point. The pit exit here is a bit dubious. It flies you out right on the racing line. Thankfully, no pit stops that anyone has to worry about for tonight, so it's not really going to be a recurring thing for the most part during the race, but it definitely might rear its ugly head here during qualifying, like you said. We got one car off. Speaking of rejoins, David Clark came out right in front of one of the pear-shaped cars. I think he might have made his lap go pear-shaped.
Oh, it looked like he'd gone way off beforehand as well. So it'd be interesting to see if he had a little bit of contact with someone else before, just lost it himself.
Yeah,
himself.
Yeah.
This can be such a difficult corner too. Like, you need to hit the speed perfectly. If you have too much speed, you will lose the back end, especially on cold tyres with the G86s. Roughly until lap 4, that's your tyres in optimal range, and yeah, it looks like it just went in too hot then.
Yeah, and the braking zone down into that corner, it is so difficult, because you got that big crest you're going and up, and that's a high-speed corner. You can take that out. I'm not sure if you can take it flat out in these cars, but pretty close, and immediately you have to go down into a huge downhill braking zone, having to work through all that weight transfer and trying to get the car settled and not airmail your braking point. It is not an easy corner. There's some deceptively difficult corners on this track.
Yeah, it looks something like Lukey's right now, where these three cars on screen. It is very difficult to hit that perfectly, because there's multiple lines that you can take, and you can make an overtaking move as well at the bottom of the hill. So it'll be interesting to see what chaos will be in the race, but at the moment it's pretty smooth in qualifying. Trevor Mortimer currently pole position.
Yeah, so far so good for Trev Mortimer. 143.164, top of the charts right now. Kyle Avery not that far, less than a full 10th. See, one of the koala cars going a bit wide.
Yeah, they're definitely pushing the car as much as possible. There's only 8 minutes left in qualifying, and every bit counts. And to try and stay in the draft, but if you're stuck behind the draft against a slower car, then you have to make an overtaking move somewhere to try and get away from them and get a clean lap in. Like, see Doug Gowans, he's struggling a bit on his lap time. He's half a second behind. He's normally pretty quick here, especially with his practice time. He was actually in the 142s from my belief, so he's a little bit slow at the moment, but just maybe not having the clean air that he currently wants to compete against everyone else.
Absolutely. So far, no one else putting up any better lap times. Once again, though, the field continues to be so unbelievably close. You got about half a second all the way down to P10. It's absolutely crazy how close in pace everyone seems to be in this series.
Yeah, that's the best thing about having I know the open setup series, but in saying that the car is pretty stock standard. There's only so much things that you can change, so it brings out more of the driver rather than the car, and that's what makes this series so competitive, and a lot of close battle, which is great to see, and obviously great for the spectators as well.
On board with Dave Clark once again, getting back going after that earlier mishap.
It's pretty good to see Ash Glover and Ams as well, currently in the top 10 as well, so they've done a really good job to get a quick time, and Thomasina currently the quickest in Pro-Am in P12, so a couple of boys are struggling out there at the moment on the track, but there's still 6.5 minutes to go, and a fair bit of time to find for a couple of drivers, but I wouldn't be surprised if a lot more drivers finish in the 43-second range.
Yeah, I'd say you're right. And Ash Glover, he's been on one this season. I believe got the sweep last week, leading the points in the AMs, and like you said, sitting top 10 in P8 in qualifying right now.
Yeah, qualifying can set up such a good race, and if Ash can stay in the top 10 and stay in the top 10 in the race as well, that's a massive benefit, especially with the inverse as well, and hopefully he can stay out of trouble as well, if he stays up further up in the grid compared to being at the back, obviously all it takes is one car in a big pack to make a mistake, and before you know it, 10 cars are off the track.
Yeah, no kidding. So we're just trying to keep an eye on any other cars that might be on a good lap right now. See Glover side by side with one of the SRB cars giving away.
And you see the overtake there, that their teammates there, they're using the draft together to try and optimise their lap times as much as possible, which is great to see as well. Bit of strategy in the teams, and hopefully an advantage against other opponents out there.
Absolutely. I remember that happening a lot last time we were here. All the Murray cars were in one big line, giving everyone a huge slipstream, and with that, I think they ended up locking out the first 4 spots in qualifying. Just absolutely picture perfect teamwork. To see, we have a few cars that have gone faster. Ash Glover now down to P10. And top 9 is even about under half a second, 4/10 give or take.
Yeah,
Daniel Byrne Sorry to cut you off, Tyler, but Daniel Byrne jumps up to P2, 147.1 or 143.171. Oh no, we got one of the Carlas going off. Couldn't quite make it out which one it was. Just now finally able to get back on the racing surface. Had to stay in the grass for quite some time trying to make sure that it wasn't an unsafe rejoin.
Could have been Daniel Byrne as well that done it. I think he just completed his lap at the time, so maybe he just drove off from for his teammate to give him a nice good run into turn 2. So hard to say without replay, but very competitive at the moment. As you see, Kyle Laverley all over the 130 car and trying to use the slipstream as much as possible, and maybe an overtake to try and get a better lap time in.
Absolutely. Oh, there goes Thomasina way off. Having issues with that set of corners. Another car like we saw with Clark.
It is difficult. Like, you believe that it's an easy track to master, but it's not. Like, it is a high momentum, track with these cars, and if you haven't had enough lap times in it, you actually get yourself caught out compared to others that have raced at PHILLIP Island in these cars on a regular basis. And yeah, you can find plenty of speed out there, even without the draft as well. But normally, the top end, you will have to have a draft to be competitive for pole position. But as you see, within 1/10, you got P1, 2, and 3, and under half a second, you got the whole top 10 in there. So that's pretty competitive at the moment.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, this might be the last opportunity for everyone to get their lap. And of course, with this being set up as sprint races, once the time for qualifying hits 15 minutes, that's it. Session is over and you will not be able to complete any lap you're on.
Yeah,
So
it's a very hard format, but it's something that all the drivers know, that there's the hard cutoff at the 15-minute mark, and you've got to make every second count, especially at PHILLIP Island.
absolutely. And with a minute 43 lap time, even Brad Dines, he started this with about a minute and a half to go. He won't be able to finish this lap in time, and yep, he knows that and pulls off onto the grass. We'll prepare for the race.
Yeah, making sure they got enough fuel for their laps and not under fueling. That's the most important thing, is to see Raid also going off as well, so he just realised how much time was left in the session. I believe Sam Katakazunas, even though he doesn't have enough time, I don't believe, to make another lap, he's probably out there just putting a couple more corners, a couple more experience, techniques in to try and get an advantage against his opponents. So yeah, old fella's pretty smart. He's very competitive, and he's been on fire lately. In racing, he might actually currently P19, so he's struggling a bit in these cars, but once in the racing format, he can be very, very quick.
Yeah, I remember you and him yesterday having one heck of a battle in the second race of the Super Formula Lights event at Mugello. You two were just throwing haymakers at each other for pretty much the entire 30 minutes. That was a sight to behold. And now that is it for qualifying. Now to cut to the starting grid for the first 20-minute sprint. Your pole sitter, Trev Mortimer for Rogue Racing, over Daniel Byrne for Carlin's Motorsport, who is starting P2. Kyle Lavery in third for Team SRW, next to Sean Doyle for Vermilion Esports, Mitchie Noble for Sim Racing Brotherhood, and James Doyle for the Koala Cartel on row 3. Carter Dines and Dougie Gowans share row 4. Kyle Ridley for SLM and Ash Glover for Rogue Racing round out the top 10. David Clark for JW Simsport, and Thomas Cooley for the Koala Cartel on row 6. Greg Cook in the 42 for Project 36, and Thomas Sunicina for SLM on row 7. Steve Daniels in the 130. Next to his LCR teammate of Chris Tomlin and all LCR Esports, row 8. Kellen Hodgkinson for OPR and Wade Reynolds for JW Simsport on row 9. Sam Katakuzanos and Kevin Wakefield for LCR Esports round out the top 20. Mark Snow for SLM and Wayne Edwards for Web Simsport on row 11. Max Donnelly for NZSR and Jacob McIntyre for Sim Racing Brotherhood on row 12. Elliot D for Team Pear Shape Racing and Greg Johnson for Team Greg Racing on row 13. Jacques Swainpool for SLM and David Bowman for Team Pear Shape Racing. Joey Black, a privateer, next to Brad Dines for Dine Tune Racing, round out the top 30. Shane Newens for Waller rounds out the field, and then we have our safety car driver and our stewards with Jacob Trainer in 35th all the way at the back of the grid for SRB. Whew. Oh, we're actually pretty efficient there. Now we got 45 seconds we still gotta fill before the lights get ready to go out.
Yeah, nothing wrong with having a bit of a breather just before the green light and comes out, but obviously a big field today with 32 cars out there. It's going to be very chaotic, and yeah, should be a good fun race.
Absolutely a heck of a lap time for Trev Mortimer. It's not that often we see a time put up early in the session stand the test of time, but no one could touch what Trevor Mortimer was able to put together to get himself at the very front of this grid. And with that, it is time. The lights are getting ready to go on, and the lights are getting ready to go out. Green means go, and we are underway at PHILLIP Island. Oh, someone did not get going. I think it was Greg Cook. A nightmare start for Greg Cook, and not a good start for Trev Mortimer either. Here comes Daniel Bird around the outside to take the lead down into 1. Here comes Lavery looking to the inside of Mortimer.
Great start for Daniel Byrne.
Absolutely got a big jump and puts him in the lead, and right now Trev Mortimer's just fighting to hold on to a podium spot at this point, as here comes Sean Doyle. Meanwhile, there was a big incident in the back. We got 2 meatballs for Jacob Trainer and Greg Cook. Meanwhile, we are almost 3 wide.
Yeah, that meatball will be from the stalled car from the starting grid, so unfortunately that's Cook.
Whoa!
Ooh.
Oh, contact! Dines half spins into one of the Koala Cartel cars, sends him off the track, and oh, you see right there. Cook stalls on the grid. Jacob Trainer not able to get out of the way and completely demolishes the rear end of that 86. And then you see contact from Gowns into Dines. Carter tries to hold on to it, but slides back down. Oh, it got, is that Ash Glover or is that David Clark? It's David Clark. Oh, we got another car around. Mitch Noble.
Oh, in the middle of the track.
Oh no, and he got plastered.
That's massive contact.
Yeah, someone absolutely took the nose off of that Toyota. Oh, contact with one of the Koala cars. That's what sent Noble around, and keep it right here. Someone is not going to be able to make a lucky mistake. Blam! Oh, I think that was Gray Johnson.
Oh, I think that could be Jux as well. That's a very similar car to Jux and SLM Motorsport as well.
Yep, you're right. It is Jock.
Oh, nowhere to go.
Yeah. Mitch did what you're supposed to do. He held on, held his brakes, but He saw what was going to happen. He tried to throw it into reverse to get out of the way, but unfortunately, too little, too late. But not much you could do there if you're Mitch Noble.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was a sitting duck there and got collected on the way out for a couple of cars. But he's done a real good job, though. Hold his brakes, did the right thing as much as he could. But now, a few different positions. You said Chris Tomlin up in the top 10 now in PA, so he's had a massive advantage from all this chaos in the first lap.
Yeah. Oh no! And he's going. Kevin Wakefield going around. Oh no! This surely can't end well. Okay, it actually might. Wakefield reverses off the track, gets out of the way.
There's cars going everywhere at the moment. This just shows how much the draft is beneficial for everyone to stick nice and close. But unfortunately, a few drivers are getting way too close. As we see Lavery here trying to take the lead of Daniel Byrne on the main straight. Mortimer and Doyle also trying to get the slipstream as well. As you see them side by side, 2 cars behind P3 and 4 using the slipstream. This could be a 4-way battle in turn 2 for the lead.
I'd say you're right. You see Lavery able to pull the pass off around the outside on Daniel Byrne. Oh, we see side by side Mortimer and Doyle going hard, trying to get the last spot on the podium.
Love Daniel Byrne's strategy there. He knew that Doyle had to slow it out there. He used him as the slipstream, but oh no. They absolutely bit him back on there. You gave Mortimer the slipstream, and now all of a sudden Mortimer and Doyle got to jump in the hairpin there. So unfortunately that didn't work out for him, but thankfully they're still in the battle with slipstream. But Kyle Lavery running away with it now, 1 second, almost away from the slipstream, so they've got to be really careful here.
Yeah, this is looking real good for Lavery right now. And it could look even better championship-wise depending on what happens with Doug Gallons. We saw him a part of that incident with Carter Dines. And Dines radioed that in, so it's being looked at by race control right now. So this already could be a huge points day for Lavery.
Yeah, basically breaking out the toe already, but these 3 boys here, I understand it's all on for P2, but if they want to win, they have to work together, because there is a whole army of cars right behind them as well that's happy to join in the battle. And if they allow that to happen, Kyle Lavery will be a very, very happy man, and he can run away with this win in the first seat.
That he can. Meanwhile, Daniel Byrne radioed something in just now. I couldn't quite make out what he said, but something happened on that last lap that he was... Oh, we got a couple cars going around. Got Jacob McIntyre all the way off into the grass. Contact between him and Brad Dines. And he's just radioed that in.
Coming to turn 1. Oh no.
Oh, he got, I think that was David Clark. They were staggered 3 wide. Contact puts McIntyre into Brad Dines.
Yeah, and that was 3 going into 1 there. That was never going to work. All 3 of them gone for the same line and just got together at the same time. And unfortunately for McIntyre, he's the one that got out of it the worst and lost a lot of resistance from that battle.
Yeah, you saw Clark just kind of stick the nose in at the very last moment as they were starting to turn in, and the iRacing spotter is not good with stagger 3 wide, so I don't think Brad Dines knew a thing that they were 3 wide until it was already far too late.
Yeah, it looks like the boys are actually listening to us because Lavery's kind of lost a little bit of time to the cars behind us, started slowly dragging back in, but also got to be careful too because Doug Gowans there is within the toe of Daniel Byrne, and he also could be dragging Ridley and Doyle as well back into the pack, so they've got to be very, very careful here and keep it nice and clean. see, was that Doyle just going a little bit out wide there, coming to turn 2, so good battling so far. Massive gain for, the Pro-Am of Chris Tomlin and Ash Glover currently in the top 10 and leading their class as well, so they're doing a really good job, and battles galore everywhere else for everyone.
Absolutely. Yeah, and all of a sudden, like, everyone is caught back up. Like, this is now almost a 10-way battle for the lead. As you see Doyle going for the move on Mortimer. Oh, airmailed it just a bit, goes off.
Yeah, it's overcooked, and for the move in the hairpin there, it can be very, very costly if making that mistake. Now he's at the back of it. So car number 07 with a 10-second penalty from causing collision in lap 1, so this could be very costly for him, and he can fall out in the top 10 the way how these boys are battling.
Yeah, a disastrous penalty for Doug Gowans, getting the 10 seconds from that contact with Carter Dines, and music to Kyle Avery's ears. And that's not good when you consider not only how close everyone is in this race, but how close the championship is. Like you saw, for first and fifth separated by just 3 points. That is costly, as you see Gowans not letting it get him down. He's looking to the inside of Byrne, trying to get up to provisional P3 right now.
Yeah, definitely sticking on the back of the 808 car right there. Another penalty coming for car 013, which is a 15-second failure to hold. That's a massive penalty there. So, yeah, a couple of penalties getting thrown around from lap 1, and yeah, unfortunately there was a fair bit of cars going everywhere, left, right and centre. So, as you see here, the move for Daniel Byrne, P2 with Mortimer. Was allowing Doug Owen here to set himself up here. Byrne can be very unlucky and get stuck on the outside going into Lukey's, so this can be very, very dangerous here.
Yeah, that last penalty, Carter Dines, for when he spun down into the pack after that contact with Gowans, and I gotta be honest, I don't know about giving a penalty. Oh wow, we're nearly 3 wide. Look, what a move from Gowans, getting by both Mortimer and Daniel Byrne in one corner. Unbelievable bit of driving from Doug Gowans. And
yeah,
now Mortimer under fire.
For Kyle Ridley.
Oh, little bit of a hit check. Oh,
it's
going off.
See the rejoin here. Oh,
he can't. Yeah, he had to wait a little bit, otherwise it would have been an unsafe rejoin, and that is disaster for Trevor Mortimer.
See the replay here. Kyle Ridley had the inside here. Fuck, he's done nothing. He just drove into Kyle there and just gone down. Just didn't realise how close he was, and unfortunately upset the car and off he went. But he's lucky that he kept us here. He's just almost lost to the end there. So he did the smart thing to turn right and not left back on the track.
Yeah, I agree with you, Tyler. I don't know how you could put that on Kyle Ridley. You see Mortimer just kind of goes right down in and bonk. It wasn't anything like, that's just unfortunately a epitome of a racing deal in my mind. Just absolutely unfortunate for Mortimer, all the way down outside the top 10, and he is 5 seconds behind Cena. So right now he doesn't even have an opportunity to get the invert pole.
But this battle for the podium is absolutely mental. I know Kyle Laverley, he's been in the lead the whole time, but the boys behind are swapping position left, right and centre and still dragging him in, which is absolutely amazing. Because normally when you're battling for a position, you lose more time to the car ahead in clean air, and they've managed to keep up here. Just under 8 minutes to go, and they're still in the drafted Kyle, and maybe Kyle can be under pressure now. A couple of drivers just have their battles, having the breather, going down the main straight. There's also a slower car too, so they might come into opening traffic, slower car coming in, as you see ahead too, so that could be very costly. Galvin goes on the inside of Byrne, trying to make a stick. Hadn't made a stick. To see Burns has gone back into the inside in turn 2. Done a great job to keep Doug Gowans out. And still P2 for Daniel Byrne.
Let's see, that is going to 121. Joey Black. Do we see that? Oh my God! Oh, there's contact from Gowans into Lavery! Oh no, there goes Byrne! Oh man, you saw the whole thing on the rear view cam from Kyle Lavery. You could tell suddenly the nose of Doug Gowans' car getting way closer than it should have been. Doug trying to go for the move, air mails the corner, gets into Lavery. Lavery able to save it, but in the chaos, Kyle Ridley gets into Daniel Byrne and sends him around. The biggest loser is the innocent bystander, Daniel Byrne. Now he's outside the top 10.
That's massive. Just one small mistake. Doug Gowans, he made the move on Gallo to get back into P2 and love to have Kyle, and unfortunately Gallo had nowhere to go, and I was thinking nor did Kyle either. He didn't have much choice of what was happening ahead of him, but it did drag a couple more boys behind. Sam Katakazun all of a sudden now in P4, and two Doyles as well, back in P5 and P6, back in the draft now, so they might be able to get back into the podium position in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah, unbelievable save from Lavery. I have no idea how he held on to that car, and I'm a bit surprised he didn't radio that in as well. Obviously, if you're Doug Gowans, it's great because that could potentially be another 10-second penalty on top of the one he already got.
I think Gowans got lucky that Lavery didn't actually lose any time or position, so you can get away with it, I believe, from race control.
And you see Gowans looking to the outside of Lavery, not able to complete the pass. Meanwhile, these two have started to slip away just a smidge from Ridley and Katakuzuno's behind. See Sean Doyle battling with his brother from another mother, James Doyle. Sean trying to recover from his incident early on in this race, Tyler.
He's done a good job to recover, back in the top 5 battle, and could be top 3 as well, depending what else the boys ahead will do as well. They've been lovey-dovey touching each other here and there, so could be another incident in the last 4.5. They might get a little bit more desperate here, as we see Sam Katakazuna just trying to make a move now on Kyle, as we see 10-second penalty for car 028, so another car handed with an early penalty from early on this week, so I was thinking a few naughty boys out there.
Callum Hodgkinson, I don't remember what incident that was, as you see Gowans with the move to the inside. Oh, and he's going to try to get the pass done. Oh, he somehow completed it. Just barely had enough space to get in front of Lavery's car.
Doug Gowans, the man on a mission, he knows that time penalty that he has. He's trying to get in the front and get away from everyone else in 10th position to try and make sure he's still in the inverse. So he's done a real good job with that at the moment. But Kyle Lavery here, unfortunately just lost P1 after leading the majority of the race, and now under pressure is Kyle Ridley trying to make a move on him now.
Yeah, now I believe the penalty is applied post-race, so I think it will only affect the actual finishing position, but not any position for the invert. So I don't think that's going to be something on Doug Gowans' mind right now. He's hoping to start 10th at this rate. Trying to hold off Lavery. He's got the Kyle and Kyle show right behind.
Yeah, and the double Kyles. We also got the double Doyles behind as well, so a couple of naming pairs right there in the top 6 battling on, and I've got to say Chris Tomlin there sneaking up into P7 with Thomasine as well, so those two have done a good job as well, gaining a few positions, and Glover as well, maintaining the top 10. So phenomenal effort from him by far. But Kyle Lavery here, going on inside into turn 1, and Doug just let him go by, and see you later, he got back to lead again. So well done for Kyle there on the move, but under pressure again from Doug. He's trying to crisscross there, didn't he?
He sure did. As we are 2 laps to go right now. Oh, Katakuzanos got a little wide. Barely kept it on the exit curb. As you see, Ridley looking, trying to make the move on Gowns. He tucks back in. And if you're Ridley, you have to make that move on Gowns ASAP, honestly, so you can try to be the one getting the slipstream off of Lavery down into turn 1 on the white flag. This has to be go time if you're anyone behind the black and white machine. And speak of the devil, here comes Katakuzanos. Going around the outside. This is not going to be easy. He's not able to stay alongside. And in fact, here comes Sean Doyle looking to the outside of Katakuzanos. Oh, and there's contact! Katakuzanos into Ridley. He gets the spot. Ridley trying to keep the nose to the inside. And Doyle trying to figure out what he can do to try to get himself some spots, trying to get to the podium. Meanwhile, here we are, white flag, 1 lap to go in race 1 from PHILLIP Island. We're side by side for the lead, and almost 3 wide, almost 4 wide for P3. Oh, we're going to be 3 wide. Oh, there's contact. Ridley, power sliding through turn 1, holds on to it.
Absolute
Goodness
chaos
me.
for holding that on. That is absolutely amazing car control there. He could easily lost control then, but managed to maintain P5 and keep Doyle behind. But that battle for P1 now. Doug Gowan's got in the lead of Kyle Lavery, and now the move for the hairpin here. Kyle's on the outside. He's going to go for the crisscross move here. He does go for it, but unfortunately not good enough. And Dougie Gowan still hold the lead.
Oh, but Lavery, he's looking to the outside. This move doesn't necessarily mean anything with the penalty. He stands as your race winner, but to heck with that. He wants to actually be the one crossing the line first. Lavery to the outside. Can't hold. Oh, but he might go for the dive bomb. Downhill. Here comes Katakuzanos. And they're side by side with Ridley and Doyle behind. What's going to happen? Can Gowans hold on? Technically hold on at any rate. Off of the final corner. Lavery trying to slipstream. Coming to the line. Lavery with the run at the line. Checker flag it's going to be.
Lavery.
Kyle Lavery at the line. Wins race 1 at PHILLIP Island in a photo finish. Mike. What a finish. That was nearly a 3 wide photo finish. 200th of a second. The winning margin for Kyle Lavery, technically speaking. Oh, how's that for a grandstand finish?
Mate, that is a great finish there. 3 drivers fighting for the at the very last corner coming out. Great run right there from Sam Katakuzanos, but unfortunately Lavery had a better exit there and just used the draft with Doug, and out he went. Sam did the same as well. Oh, got so close there. I wonder if Sammy just had to stay in the draft a little bit more, might have been able to get Doug, but fantastic finish there for first position. 3-car battle, and not just that as well, you've got another 3 cars behind battling for P4 as well.
Yeah, and with the penalty for Doug, that puts him P2. And Sean Doyle got the better of Kyle Ridley. So The podium is Lavery, Katakuzanos, and Sean Doyle. Just see Lavery doing a little bit of celebratory drifting. Former champ from 2 seasons ago grabs another win here in race 1. As everyone is bringing their machines back to pit road. And now it's time to cut to the grid for race 2. The pole sitter for race 2 is Daniel Byrne in the 808 next to Ash Glover, the AM winner from race 1 on the front row. Thomas Sonny Cena from SLM next to Chris Tomlin for LCR, the Pro-Am winner. James Doyle and Kyle Ridley on row 3. Sean Doyle in the 174 next to Sam Katakuzanos in the 968 on row 4. Row 5 features Doug Gallons and Kyle Lavery. In P11, it's the 013 of Carter Dines next to the 247 of Trev Mortimer. Wayne Reynolds in the 86 next to Stevie Daniels in the 130 on row 7. Row 8 features the 028 of Callan Hodgkinson and the 159 of Thomas Cooley. And oh, they did not extend the grid time, so we're already back green. And we already got a lot of 3 wide off of the line. Great start for Gowns and Lavery. And a great start for Daniel Byrne. He is out of there. Look at that lead already. And I don't think it was a good start for Ash Glover. He's already down to 7th. Byrne trying to run away, trying to do what he wanted to do in race 1. Tomlin trying to hold serve. Got blinking issues for Joey Black. Meanwhile, Cena looking to the inside of Tomlin. He's got one of the koala cars. Meanwhile, one of the pear-shaped cars off into the gravel. Pear-shaped for Team Pear-Shape Racing. Ooh, a serious connection warning for Joey Black there, making him park off to the side. As you see, there they go by around Ash Glover. See Katakuzanos all over the back of Carter Dines. So far, no big lunges down the downhill. Tomlin's got Cena all over the rear of his Toyota. Steve Daniels just reported something. I think there might have been an incident on lap 1. It looked like a few cars were tumbling down the order. Meanwhile, here comes, believe that's James Doyle going to the outside of Cena. Side by side through turn 1, getting so close. Doyle hanging to the outside. He's going to get the pass done on Cena. Now he looks trying to get position on Chris Tomlin as Byrne starts to pull away. James Doyle trying to get this pass done ASAP, trying to keep connection with Byrne. Jumps to the outside, down into the first hairpin. Good on the brakes. And that might be job done. Tomlin trying to hold on, and he will not. Doyle up into P2. Here comes Ridley. So far, and Doug Gowns and Lavery haven't made up a whole lot of ground. In fact, Gowns has lost 1 spot from the start. As you see, there goes Sean Doyle to the inside of Cena. Now the outside. Lavery tried to follow through. Kevin Wakefield retiring, some sort of hardware issue, he said. As Sean Doyle gets by Cena, Lavery cannot follow him. Meanwhile, Katakuzinos and Dines are continuing to battle side by side.
Yeah, definitely a drag fest at the moment now. You can see the massive choo-choo train at the very front of the pack, and very interesting to see who's going to make the move here. Coming to this corner, Katakuzinos on the outside, Dimes try to go on the inside, but Katakuzinos had a great run. And Doug Gowan's just stuck at the very back at the moment in the grid, so I think he might be just biding his time. Oh no.
Steve Daniels going off. I think he got help from someone behind. Meanwhile, that's the replay of Kevin Wakefield and his hardware issues. Looks like his wheel might have disconnected on him right there, or something. Not quite sure, but here's the incident with Daniels. He got the. There was like a bit of a. It was weird. You saw Daniels get the grasp, but there was a checkup from the car in front of him. It looked like Ash Glover, and nothing Daniels can do. Gets into him and goes off the track because of that. That is weird. I have no idea what happened with Glover right there through the corner.
Yeah, it's just battling. I think it just might have misjudged his speed, or might have been out of.
Oh no! Getting bumped by Ridley, and there's more contact behind. Cena had an issue.
Yeah, I think that might have been Katakuzinos just having a tap with Cena coming down at the bottom of the hill, and I think you end up getting two more cars as well in that trouble there. So that's a big mistake there, and it could be a penalty coming out there. But this battle is absolutely full on right now. See Ridley going on the inside of Katakuzinos, but Katakuzinos using Tomlin's draft and coming to turn one here. Ridley's holding in. Oh, Sam getting real close to Chris there, but kept it nice and clean, and now he's got the inside of turn 2. So does Dines as well, and Dines might make the move on Kyle as well while he's at it. And he has done it real good.
Yeah, you want to talk about getting close. You couldn't see the whole front end of Katakuzinos. That's how close he got. Trying to drive. Oh, there's a bit of contact. Katakuzinos trying to give the squeeze on Tomlin, and instead that's going to knock him off the apex.
Oh, Dines and Ridley well sabotaged.
Yeah, Ridley. Yeah, it looked like Tomlin bogged out on the exit of the corner for whatever reason. Lost the spot to Ridley. Now going to lose a spot to Dines. Was contact between those two. Meanwhile, Will begging for the lead. Doyle and Byrne. Byrne's going to hold on, but is there going to be the lunge from Doyle? Not this time.
They got to be careful, because the other Doyle's right behind as well. He's in a real good position at the moment. He's just slipstream. Might make it a 3-for-1 battle for P1 coming into turn 2.
Yeah, Doyle squared in the mirror of Daniel Byrne. And they have about 2 seconds back to Katakuzinos. Here comes James Doyle using the slipstream. Can he get the pass done? No, he does not. Good move from Byrne to get clear. It does not allow Doyle to set up the crossover.
That's a great move from Byrne. Keeping that position there. He gave it up for a couple of seconds, but not too long. The C car 956, which is Mitch Noble there with a 15-second penalty. So I don't think we've seen that one on replay from memory, but yeah, that's a big penalty for him in race 2.
Yeah. As you see, here comes. Oh no! Oh. Sean Doyle going around. Oh, and look at all the.
Yeah. Second time tonight, fighting for a podium, just make a small mistake, and now he's at the back again. It's like, I think he's fallen out of the top 10 from that.
Yeah, not sure what happened here. Can't tell a whole lot from that angle, but it didn't look like to me that Sean Doyle turned in. Let's see. This is going to be.
Oh,
I
understeered. I reckon
yeah.
understeered too much into him.
Yeah, because you see Sean's car just slides up from the apex just ever so slightly, just gets into the side of James and around he goes. Meanwhile, the beat goes on. James Doyle continues to fight with Byrne, and that's allowed Katakuzanos to join the party. He's in draft range now. Ridley and Dine's not that far away either.
And Chris Tomlin's well doing a fantastic job in P6.
Sorry to cut you off, Tyler, but here comes Katakuzanos with a run out of nowhere. He's challenging for the lead now. Where in the world did that come from?
Byrne trying to fight on the inside of the hairpin there, kept it side by side here. But Sam's got the inside for the next one. See what he does here. Ooh, kept it nice and tight, still side by side. It's just put Kyle Ridley in as well, so this is a four-way battle now. Just got to be very, very careful here. Sam, moved over a little bit too much there. Ooh. Doyle giving Sam the run.
Yeah, a little bump draft from James Doyle as they go down into the downhill hairpin. Sam's going to clear. Doyle dives it to the outside of Byrne. Sam Katakuzanos getting the lead. Looked like that car had nitrous out of turn 2. Run of a lifetime.
The amount of speed he had in that car, so Byrne and Doyle must have a little bit of contact to slow himself down, because Sam looked like, like you said, he looked like he had the turbo boost on, but you see he got a 5-second penalty from his contact in lap 3, so currently fighting for the lead. Byrne taking the lead again. Doyle in the inside of Katakuzanos. Still side by side. But Sam has got inside in turn 2, keeping him nice and wide. Getting to the run, and Kyle Ridley's got underneath Doyle as well for P3.
Ooh. You saw Ridley getting some of the grass on that. Oh, Steve Daniels into the wall.
Yeah, a lot of rear end damage from that car right there. But this battle for P1, look at it, it's like a 9-way battle for P1 within 2 seconds. This is phenomenal racing, boys and girls. See Kyle Ridley here trying to make the move again for P3, keeping it on the inside, done a great job. Now Dine's trying to have a bit of a taste of it on Doyle, and mate, this battle here right now, this can end in tears if someone makes a mistake, but this is great entertainment right now.
This could end in a lot of tears depending on who makes the mistake and where. One mistake could straight up nuke the entire top 9. In before your race 2 winner is Callan Hodgkinson. Katakuzanos tries to set up the run going into turn 1. Here comes
Ridley's
the
got a good
Slipstream.
run too as well. Tammy's out on the outside. Kyle following him on the outside as well. Doyle on the inside. He's trying to cover off Dimes. As you see, Sam Katakuzanos on the outside still have the overlap there. Fantastic move, and kept it in front of. Kept it in front of Burns there. I thought he had a little bit of contact, but it wasn't. But that move there, Lavery managed to make another position as well, and Dougie Gowans as well. Dimes a little bit too wide in turn 2 and lost a couple of positions from that battle, but the heat is on right now for P2. Ridley and Byrne. Byrne on the inside. Ridley on the outside. Going to the hairpin. Still side by side. Still side by. Oh no!
Katakuzanos goes around from the lead. Oh my goodness! Oh no!
Be careful on the rejoin, mate. Oh,
God.
jeez.
Oh, I think Sam might have got himself another 5-second penalty for his troubles on that one. Oh. And I hope Callan Hodgkinson got himself a new pair of shorts for his troubles on that one.
See, Sam had a good run, but it looks like he had a little bit too much on gas and just went around himself. That's heartbreaking. That just working so hard to get the lead and make a small mistake there. But geez, he's got very lucky not to touch another car on the rejoin there.
Ooh! You saw a little bit of contact right there. Man, just so unexpected. I didn't think you could really spin these cars like that, but fortunately for Sam, goes around, and with that penalty he's got, it's already not going to be good. As you see, here comes James Doyle. He goes by Kyle Ridley, that got the lead through all that chaos. Daniel Byrne has led much of this race, but is now relegated to third. Now fourth as Lavery out of nowhere. Fourth to second in one corner. Meanwhile, a penalty to David Clark, forcing another driver off track. Not sure what that
Battle
one...
for the podium is absolutely phenomenal. You see Doyle there getting back into P3 in front of Burns, and Dougie Gower wants a bit of a taste of it as well. But you also have Dines right behind him as well, with Mortimer and not Mortimer, sorry, Tomlin and Mortimer. So just battle for the top 8 right here, under 2 seconds between each other. Phenomenal effort, and you see here, Lavery, he wants a back-to-back win here. He's all over the back of Kyle Ridley now, trying to go on the outside here, going up to Lukey's. But Kyle, no, he backed out there. He knew that Kyle had a great run on the inside there, and knows, Doyle on the outside. Tried to go through, nice clean. But I think there, Lavery, he wants to use the main straight for an overtake coming to turn 2, so that's why he backed out by my belief. He's using a little bit of strategy. He didn't want to lead on the main straight. He wants to time his run very well here to get this back-to-back win.
Yeah, that Lavery is a crafty one, and here he comes, drafting by Kyle Ridley. Kyle on Kyle, battle for the win. Bird with a big move to the inside of Doyle, not able to get it done. Kyle side by side through 1, side by side through 2. Lavery not able to hold to the outside of Ridley. But he's got position now. But he's going to be on the unpreferred lane through the hairpin. And he holds on. Unpreferred goes to preferred. Oh, never mind. There goes Ridley by. Whoa, a little bit of door banging between Byrne and Doyle.
Byrne's got to be real careful here. I've seen him blinking very, very badly at the moment, so he's got to be
really badly.
Not to cause any contact here. He goes on the inside to try and get back to P3.
Whoa.
Oh, that's a little bit of contact there.
Doyle not backing down, keeps to the inside. Can Doyle get it done around the outside?
Dines and Gowan wants a piece of the cake as well. You can see those two just trying to...
Oh, Kuzino's around again in the back. Oh, man. So much promise this race, too, for Sam Katakuzinos. See... Saw first.
A bit of contact there.
Yeah. He got a meatball from that? How in the world is that a meatball?
Destroyed.
That is... How in the world did that little bit of contact break the steering?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Right front suspension's gone. See, watching the replay. A little bit of contact here.
Yeah, 3 wide. That wasn't going to work,
Ooh.
boys. Katakuzanos, the unfortunate bystander, on the outside of that 3 wide, knocked off into the gravel.
The battle for P3 is still on, like Donkey Kong. Doyle and Burns side by side together. They're trying to get the last podium, but the two cars look like they've driven away and decided to be number 1 and number 2 in this race. But absolutely on here. Burns trying to do everything he can to get past James Doyle, and Dines and Gowan right there behind, just waiting for those two to make a mistake and they can pounce on it. More contact there from Burns going to the second last corner, but he knows he's got to use the draft. This should be the final lap coming up right now, so he knows for sure once he makes this move, he will have prime position for P3, but going to make a stick at the moment because he's got 2 other cars behind, or 3 other cars, shall I say, behind, ready to pounce if he does make a mistake with James as well.
Meanwhile, it is white flag, 1 lap to go as you see Byrne with a big move. Doyle keeping the door shut. Oh, and Byrne goes off a little bit.
And still got Dines on the inside as well. Gowan's got Dines as well. So that's another position loss, unfortunately, for Dines.
As he continues to blink. Gowan's trying to at least get up into the podium. As the Kyle battle pulls away from these 5.
Gowan made a move on the inside here. It looks like he's fighting for P4 at the moment with Byrne. Byrne gone, nope, I'm not going to give it to you right away, and managed to get P4 again. So this is getting very, very close here. Doug Gowan is enough is enough. It's final lap. Everything is on like, oh no.
Oh, there goes Byrne, contact with Gowns. And Gowns goes wide too. He loses some spots and probably going to lose a lot more from the penalty. He might be getting, I don't know, I didn't see it. But meanwhile, what I am seeing, the Kyle side by side for the win.
Which car going to finish on top of the podium? We don't know yet. Is it going to be Ridley or Lavery?
I don't know, Tyler. I think my money is on Kyle for this one. Coming out of turn 4, side by side. Is there going to be side drafting? There's going to be bumping. It looks like it's going to be Lavery at the line. Kyle Lavery takes race 2 at Phillip Island. Another photo finish. Incredible.
Fantastic race from those two boys. That is fantastic. And James Doyle as well on the get onto the podium as well. He's beat his time in the battle with Byrne and managed to get the icing on the cake with that one. So that's phenomenal racing at the boys at the front again. That is absolutely chaotic but fun to watch.
That it was. My goodness. Now we got to take a look at that burn on Gowan's incident. Said it might be a penalty on Gowan's at first. I don't know for sure if it's gonna be. We'll see.
It looks like he's definitely got enough overlap. Oh.
Yeah, I like to see a overhead shot. Let's see, here we go.
Oh.
I don't know about you, Tyler, but I kind of would actually put that as a racing deal, because like it kind of looks like maybe Byrne comes over as Doug is kind of coming off of the curb a little bit. I don't know. That's why I'm glad I'm not a race steward. What do you think?
Yeah, well, as long as you get the right overlap at the B pillar and you held his line, Doug shouldn't get in trouble at all. And like we said, should be no further action, because the car that, well, Gallo unfortunately is the one that initiated the contact, and he's the one that ended up in the wall. So, yeah, I'm not 100% sure if race control got that called in, but if they have, I'm sure they'll have a look at it and look at a couple of angles and make sure that it was A-OK and fair play.
Yeah, unfortunate for Doug. That kept him out of the reverse top 5. So he's going to be starting 6, one spot out of being able to be on pole. Oh, man. What incredible racing that we've seen so far tonight. Like 2 photo finishes in a row. What more could you ask for?
A third, mate.
Yeah, honestly.
Right here. It's just
Yeah,
like left, right, and center. Like everyone's just battling very hard, nice and close. Exactly what you want here, PHILLIP Island. And yeah, it is a bit chaotic, and unfortunately, there's a few people out there that didn't get the right end of the stick, but they're definitely showing an entertainment race, and hopefully, in the last race, they all bring it out once again for another 20 minutes.
absolutely. The rate we're going, I'm going to run out of voice to call this action.
Yeah, no, 20 of action out there.
Yeah, no kidding. It's going to be interesting to see what some of the recovery drives that we're going to be seeing. Sam Katakuzanos has a lot that he's going to have to recover from. Ended up P19 without penalty factored in. So he's got a lot of ground to make up.
Do you want some good news about that? The first race, Sam Katakuzanos, he started P19 and finished 3rd. So maybe he can replicate race 1 and finish on the podium once again.
That he did. That is incredible. That makes that drive from him even more unbelievable. It's amazing seeing how many 19s next to his name. It's not something you usually tend to see.
Absolutely not. So, but like I said, like a lot of ups and downs, especially in the 20-minute sprints. There's been times where you can finish 25, 26 in one heat, and then it's chaos galore ahead of you, and you get past all the chaos. Before you know it, you're fighting top 10, if top 5. If you can really stick with the pack ahead of you. So, yeah, like Sam, he knows for sure he can gain 16 positions and fight for a win. So he knows for sure all you have to do is do it again, stay out of trouble. Before he knows it, he'll be at the front of the pack again.
Yeah, exactly. All he needs to do is pass 18 cars. Child's play, but honestly, it kind of was for him in that first race.
Yeah, not many people can gain a million positions at once. No, Max Verstappen, he managed to do it in Brazil on the weather once, and that was phenomenal. But that's definitely not 30 cars and only 20 minutes of racing, so it's a bit more difficult. But it's great to see that. When the driver goes from the back to the front, it is phenomenal to see the effort do that, and yeah, hopefully we see a couple more drivers do that.
Absolutely. As the mid-race warm-up is just about over. Keeping an eye on some of the other drivers. Shane Newens also had a good run in race 2, going from P30 to P18 at the finish.
Greg Cook's another one. Gained 16 positions, up from 32nd to 16th. So he could be one to watch in the second race as well. Last race, LSA.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, it's time to cut to our graphic for the starting lineup. Try to get through this. Okay. They set it to the normal time, so we have plenty of time to get through it. Your pole sitter for race 3, Trev Mortimer in the 247 next to Carter Dines in the 013. James Doyle in the 298 next to Kyle Ridley in the 270 on row 2. Kyle Lavery in the 188 and Doug Gowns in the 07 on row 3. Row 4 features the 174 of Sean Doyle and the 72 of Thomasina. Callan Hodgkinson and Wayne Reynolds round out the top 10. Max Donnelly in the 425 and Ash Glover in the 310 on row 2. Jacob Trainer and Jacob McIntyre in all Jacob row 7. David Clark in the 086 and Greg Cook in the 42 on row 8. Row 9 features the 064 of Elliot D and the 73 of Shane Nowens. Sam Katakuzanos in the 968 next to Mitch Noble in the 956, rounding out the top 20. Jacques Swainpool in the 512 next to Stevie Daniels in the 130, row 11. There we go. David Bowman in the 250 and Brad Dines in the 82 on row 12. Grady Johnson and Chris Tomlin on row 13, Joey Black in the 121 and Daniel Byrne in the 808 on 27th and 28th. Wayne Edwards and Mark Snow rounding out the top 30. Thomas Cooley in the 159, Kevin Wakefield in the 033 on row 16. And that's going to do it for our starters. And I believe Thomas Cooley and Kevin Wakefield have retired from tonight's race. Does not look like they are in the session anymore. Unfortunate for both of them. Meanwhile, to pick up some loose ends from race 2, Thomas Sonny Cena ended up picking up the win in the Pro-Ams in race 2, and Ash Glover took home another AMS dub. Continues his hot run of form.
That's a fantastic effort from both drivers in their second race, especially Ash Glover. He's punching above his weight at the moment, so he'll be one happy man.
Absolutely, at the rate he's going, I don't know how much longer he's gonna be holding on to the AMS class. But here we go. The lights are just about ready to come on, and they are about ready to go out. Green means go, and we are back underway at Phillip Island. This time it looks like a much better jump for Trev Mortimer than race 1. So far, battle for second already. James Doyle under fire from Carter Dines. Dines trying to hold onto his P2. Oh, we got a car going around. One of the SRB cars. It's Mitch Noble.
He's had a very, very rough night tonight. Unfortunately for Mitch, he's back at the pack once again.
That he has. Winner of one of the races last week. Fortunately, does not look like he's going to be repeating that feet contact from. Not sure if that was Swainpool or Johnson. I think that might have been Jock.
Yeah, that was definitely Jock's there. It looks like a little bit of netcode too on the replay, so very unfortunate there. But 3 wide into turn 1 is a very, very risky move.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, Mortimer continues to lead on. Dines hounding. Meanwhile, Doyle falling down to 3rd. Really making his way to P3. Really going a little bit defensive, trying to keep Doyle at bay. Meanwhile, Thomasina and Wayne Reynolds, they got a little close together through the downhill hairpin. As Wade is side by side with Max Donnelly coming onto the front straightaway. Now we look to the lead. Here comes Carter Dines to the inside of Mortimer. Dines, does he have it clear? He does not. Mortimer was able to just barely keep the nose in. Oh, Matt Donnelly going off. He's called it in. Might have had some help on that. Meanwhile, Doyle and Ridley are battling. See, here's the replay.
Back. Coming to turn 2. Oh, will be a love tap from behind.
Good on Donnelly for holding on to that car. But now Dines under fire from Kyle Ridley. Ridley trying to get the move done on the outside. And here comes Doyle trying to freight train Carter Dines. Ridley's going to have the move done, and he's going to go defensive just to make sure. Doyle hard on the brakes on the outside. And he might have the job done on Dines. He does. Doyle into P3. And just like race 2, you see that bright turquoise car. Kyle Avery just lurking at the back. You saw it, Tyler. He played that kind of hold off and make your move at the end strategy to perfection.
Really trying to go for a battle for P1 again. Going on the inside now, he's stuck on the outside, but Trevor Mortimer and James Doyle got inside move here. And Dines might follow through as well if you get very lucky. Sneaks in the gap. Keeps Kyle wide. And Dines is back into P3. And actual really good run from him too. He might send himself up into the hairpin. But James Doyle here on the back bumper of Trevor Mortimer. He decided to go on the inside here. Heavy braking late. Fantastic move and got the lead as well. So fantastic move from James Doyle then. Finally got in the lead, taking him too many laps to get there, but he managed to get there in the end. And let's see what he can do at the front.
Meanwhile, Mitchie Nobles called in another incident to race control. And you see that this whole battle for the lead is basically 10 deep all the way back to Wade Reynolds in P10. Oh, late lunge from Dines, and he's going to get the spot from Mortimer. Ballsy move from the 013, and he pulled it off to perfection.
Fantastic move from Dines, and he knows he got the draft of James Doyle, so he's trying to capitalise that and maybe make a move into P1. But right now, Travis Mortimer's got to be very careful. He's got Kyle Lively and Kyle Lavery trying to make the move. They're going to go 3 wide coming into turn 1. 4 wide if Doug Gowan decided to join them. But no, 2 boys decided to play smart.
Now, Mortimer called that in, and I didn't see it upon the live shot, but I don't know. I didn't see any contact on that move. Did you?
I didn't see any, but I'm not going to say that there wasn't any contact. So unfortunately, with what I saw, it wasn't too much evidence. Thankfully, Race Control got multiple cameras. So you see Kyle Ridley here trying to make a move on Travis Mortimer for P3. And Kyle Lavery, both Kyles, just sticking to the same lane together. Oh no. Mortimer just blinked there. Hopefully he didn't make any contact while he was at it, but just lost a bit of distance to Kyle Ridley, but still stayed ahead of both Doug Gowan and Kyle Lavery.
Yeah, that whole little battle is actually just about cost Kyle Avery a spot. Doug Gowan's working hard to get ahead.
See Dines going for the inside here to get in front of Doyle's. He hadn't made it a stick, but he definitely made sure that he's still with him. Gone back underneath for the crisscross here. He's got the inside line now. Similar move to what Cole did in the last race, but no, he decided to stay back and stay in the toe as well. So smart smart move there, because you know that Kyle Ridley and Travis Mortimer also sticking in the toe as well, so you don't want to lose too much time here. So Dines going on to the inside of Doyle, got in the lead once again, coming to turn one. Kyle Ridley on the outside. This could be 3
Oh my God. 3 wide for the lead. They stay clean for now. Dines backs out of it. And meanwhile, James Doyle shoots through the middle into the lead, but Ridley is not giving up, and they are going to be 3 wide again. Not quite. It's Ridley able to clear both of them.
Fantastic move from Kyle Ridley there. Now he's going to go to the hairpin. This is going to get very, very messy here, maybe. Doug Gowan trying to make a move as well, but they're going 3 wide in the hairpin. James Doyle really wide in the curb there. Well done on him. It looks like Dines absolutely lost a few positions there.
Yeah, it wasn't by mistake. He was ordered by race control to give the position back to Trev Mortimer from that move earlier. So that was him giving it back. And unfortunately, losing himself another spot in the process.
Callum Hodgkinson gained a massive benefit from that as well, but Kyle Lavery lost a couple of positions also. This battle pack right now is so fast because you make that small mistake and you lose multiple positions before you know it.
Absolutely. Like, you even think wrong and suddenly you're losing 3 slots. It's so stressful out there. But God, is it fun for us.
Yeah, definitely correct on that. You see Kyle Ridley trying to make a move as well. Doug Gowan trying to get into the party as well. Ridley and Gowan's working together to try and get past Doyle. Is it going to work? It's going to be 2 wide at least this time, not 3. Ridley on the outside. He's making a stick. Lost out a little bit, but still maintained the lead. Coming to turn 2 here. Doyle trying to cut in on Doug Gowan, but he opened up the door right there, which allowed the other Doyle.
Whoa! You see James Doyle caught a little bit of grass.
Yeah, opened up the door for Sean Doyle to come into P2 now. Absolutely from nowhere. All of a sudden he's P2.
Whoa!
Oh no! It's again.
And that is demolished Kyle Avery, the point leader, involved. Oh my goodness! Oh, and they're still 3 wide. What in the world happened?
Watching the replay right now.
Yeah, out of nowhere. And I came in like a wrecking ball. That's all I'm legally allowed to say.
Oh, they tried to go forward, did they? Oh, no.
Oh, and I saw them sliding through the grass like that, and I knew it was not going to end pretty. Kyle Avery, unbelievably bad luck. Innocent bystander of the year, just getting killed.
Well, that gave a bit of a breathing room now for the top 10. They've got a bit of a gap now, but as you see here, Kyle Ridley trying to hold on to the lead from Doyle and Gowans as well. Gowans behind Ridley trying to give him that bump draft there. On the outside, he's making it work, Kyle Ridley. On the outside of turn 1, head the inside of turn 2. Doyle decided to go behind him to shut the door on Gowans. Done a fantastic job there, but Doyle here, sneaking right behind Ridley. He's going to try and make a move here before the hairpin, I reckon.
Yeah, and if you're Gowns, you have to make sure you win this race. This is a huge opportunity. He's already lost a whole heap of points to Lavery already, especially after race 1. So this is his chance to kind of flip it and get the momentum back in his favor. He has to find a way to bring home the checker flag here in race 3.
Ridley holding on in front of Doyle and Gowans, with James Doyle as well back into P4 and Dines in P5. Tomasini's leading currently for the Pro-Ams, Ascaleva for the AMs, so those two are doing a fantastic job as well in race number 3, following from their second race result. But this battle for the lead is absolutely full on. No one wants to give any room or space, and yeah, no. 8 minutes to go. This can still go anywhere. Anyone's to win at the moment.
As you see now, Sean Doyle trying to see if he can set up the slipstream. See, there is a little bit of a breakaway starting to form. You got about a second behind from Mortimer in 7th to Cena in 8th. Cena holding on to the lead in the Pro-Ams. Kyle Ridley try to hold on to the lead in the pros. Here comes Gowans, and you have Sean Doyle almost bump drafting the pink SLM Academy machine. Oh, Ridley slid up. Almost gave an opening to Sean Doyle. These
It's a massive game of cat and mouse here. Massive game.
And it's going to turn into a massive game of chicken here. So you see Dines trying to go around the outside and outbraked himself because of it. Aggressive move and unfortunately aggressive result. That cost him a couple positions. Meanwhile, 5-second time penalty to Sam Katakuzanos. But after that big shunt in the hairpin, that's the least of his worries right now.
Yeah, I think he got away with damage compared to Kyle Laverley as well. But you see his battle right now. Gowan managed to get himself into P2. He's going to work with Kyle at the moment. Those two are teammates. Oh, see, Callum Hodgkinson coming into the battle as well. He's had enough of watching. He wants a bit of a cake himself. He sees the podium right there. It's only 2 cars away. Coming onto the main straight now is on the back of Doyle. And the Doyle sandwich, I'll say, between himself and Gowans. This could be very, very interesting here. They're all sticking in the slipstream. I was concerned, is he got to make the move here into turn 1 on the inside? No, he decided to stay behind.
Yeah, he was thinking about it, but ultimately decided against.
Smart decision. There's still 5 minutes to play at the moment. You don't want to make a big mistake now and absolutely throw the race out the window. Let the other drivers do that, and he's playing the pacing game really, really well.
Absolutely. Hodgkinson was in the lead fray for the first 2 races, but a little more towards the back of the lead pack. Now he's trying to get himself up towards the top, get himself a podium, maybe even sneak himself the win. Right now, Ridley hold and serve, holding Gowns at bay. Almost a little wide on that. Absolutely. So I'm go almost a little bit wide on the exit of that last corner. He's gapping Gowns out just a little bit. Oh, Doug looking. Oh, big dive from Hodgkinson. Whoa, that could have turned out way worse than what it did.
Yeah.
No harm, no foul, but...
Yeah, both the Doyle boys were having a battle with each other there as well, and Hodgkinson thought he saw an opening on the inside there, but tried to back out there and kept it nice and clean, thankfully, and the battle's still on.
Absolutely.
So Doyle made the move on Gowan's, got a brilliant run on Gowan's, got the inside edge. He's got to get Ridley as well. He has, side by side with him. What about turn 2 though? Does Ridley have too much on the inside? Yeah, he does. Doyle just shut the door on Gowans to make sure that he maintains P2 coming in and out of turn 2. But James Doyle as well, all over the back of Gowans here. He might make a move into P3 now.
Whoa, meanwhile, sorry to cut you off, Tyler, but Max Donnelly way off in the back. A whole lot of agricultural racing right in front.
What do we play here, Sam Katakuzunas?
Oh.
No.
Yeah. This is since the high of that P3, essentially P2 from race 1. things have absolutely gone pear-shaped for Sam Katakuzanos, and I don't mean pear-shaped racing.
I see Callum Hodgkinson here, just getting in front of James Doyle for P4. Fantastic move there. Dimes tried to make a move as well with Mortimer, but unfortunately those two couldn't make him jump on Doyle. But now Hodgkinson has a chance to try and get a little bit of the draft with Doug Gowans. It's just a little bit too far at the moment, almost 8/10, which means that Doyle behind him will have a better run coming to turn one. Oh, there's a big crash!
Oh!
That Ridley and
John
Gowans off.
Doyle into the inside wall!
Oh,
Oh
What
my
happened there?
goodness!
all the
Wow!
tunnel saw smoke and that was it. One car went left, the other went right. Gowans behind Doyle.
The-
Oh,
Oh,
it could be a
little
bumpy
bit of
run there.
contact. Gowans ends up going way off. Let's see if that worked out in Kyle Ridley's favor. Right now, we're 2 laps to go. He's got about 9/10 back to the other Doyle. See
Bad thing for
that
Kyle Ridley at the moment. He's got the battle for P2 at the moment behind, and they're going to slow each other up. As you see, Carter Dines trying to make it into P2. Colin Hodgkinson as well, still behind in P5. This can be absolutely chaotic still. Those 4 boys really want P2, and they're not giving any inch to each other at all.
Yeah, it's a tough position to be in if you're Carter Dines. You're not going to be able to make an advance on Ridley if you're in P3. So you're trying to get up to P2, but you're running the risk of losing the draft. But if you wait and get everyone to catch back up, you might not have any time to make any moves yourself.
Yeah,
As
I think
Ridley-
Doyle at the moment he knows to hold back. At the moment, 30 seconds stop and hold for Sam Katakuzanos. So that's massive with responsibility of the incident and an unsafe rejoin there. So that's a double whammy for him there, and that actually is not over at the moment.
Yeah, he absolutely got mollywopped with the book on that one, and it was not a race 3 to remember for Sam Katakuzanos. Meanwhile, white flag, final lap. Carter Dines battling with James Doyle. He's going to get the pass done, and he's about 7/10 behind Kyle Ridley. Does he have enough time to run down the pink machine? And Hodgkinson gets around Doyle as well. Callan Hodgkinson up into the podium spot.
And Travis Mortimer trying to get into P4 as well. He could be making a move into the hairpin as well. See if he goes in. They decide to stick back behind Doyle, but Hodgkinson here is all on the back of Dines now. The Dines need to be really careful here, because one small slip up and all of a sudden these 3 boys can gobble him up before the final straight.
Meanwhile, I don't think they're going to be able to run down Kyle Ridley. He's closing at 6/10. Carter Dines is sinking in just 1 more lap. Down into the last great braking zone. What's he got? Not. Oh, a big
Hodgkinson.
send from Hodgkinson
Oh,
from
we're doing
Oblivion,
it.
and we're going to be 3 wide. Now 2 wide for P2, P3.
oh, and they both got the draft too. And Trevor can get into this too. This could be a 4-way battle for P2 at the moment.
Going to be a photo.
Hodgkinson
That's
draft.
right.
Kyle
Meanwhile,
Ridley's got the win.
Kyle Ridley will win race 3, and Carter Dines is going to bring home P2. Callan Hodgkinson gets them at the line for P3, and it looks like it's Mortimer for 4th and James Doyle in 5th.
Another fantastic race to watch there.
Yeah, it was the photo finish for the win, but God almighty, it was another epic photo finish. Kyle Ridley finally bringing home that first win of the season. He was knocking on the door quite a few times this season. finally gets it done to complete the Kyle sweep.
Yeah, that is definitely a Cole clean sweep, but it was 2 for Lavery and 1 for Ridley, and I know Ridley just missed out on the win in race number 2, but he definitely deserved the cake in race number 3 for that one.
Here are the final finishing results for race 3 at Phillip Island. The winner, Kyle Ridley for SLM, with Carter Dines for Dine Racing in second, and Callan Hodgkinson for OPR in third. Trevor Mortimer for Rogue Racing and James Doyle for the Koala Cartel round out the top 5. Daniel Byrne recovering from starting, I think, P28 to finish in 6th. A heck of a recovery drive from Byrne for Carlin's Motorsport. Thomas Sonny Cena for Eslam bringing home a 2nd straight Pro-Am class win. Doug Gowans for FTR SLM in 8th. Greg Cook for Project 36 in 9th. And Stevie Daniels recovers with a top 10 for LCR Esports. And P11 and the AMS class winner, a clean sweep of the night for Ash Glover for Rogue Racing, Chris Tomlin for LCR Esports in 12th, Jacob McIntyre and Mitchie Noble for Some Racing Brotherhood 13th and 14th, Jacques Swainpool for SLM in 15th, Elliot D for Pear Shape Racing, Max Donnelly for NZSR, Jacob Trainer for SRB, David Bowman for Pear Shape Racing, and Brad Dines for Dine 2 Racing, rounding out the top 20. Wayne Edwards for Web Sim Racing in 21st, David Clark for JWM 22nd, Joey Black 23rd, Kevin Wakefield for LCR Esports 24th, Shane Nowens for Mahler in 25th, Wade Reynolds for JWM 26th, Greg Johnstone for Team Greg Racing 27th, Sam Katakuzanos 28th, Kyle Lavery, the point leader, the winner of the first 2 races, demolished in race 2, 29th, Mark Snow SLM in P30. And that's gonna pretty much round out the field. All right, well, Tyler, how about it? You take the Pro-Am winner and 2nd place, and I take the other 3.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, first we're going to get started with our AMS winner of Ash Glover. Ash, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Hey, buddy.
Well, how about it? Another dominating performance for you. Another clean sweep of the night. You are really starting to run away with this title.
Yeah, the car felt really good tonight. So yeah, I can't. Setup was good, and yeah, it just worked for me. I think tonight, really good.
Yeah, I think that's putting it mildly. Not only were you the best AM, you were right up there getting your elbows out with the Pro-Ams and the pros, getting up into the fray for the battle for the win, the overall win.
Yeah, I think starting off second was a bit of a shock. Got swamped a bit, but yeah, it was awesome getting around those guys, and yeah, I think the draft was everything tonight. Just sticking with those faster guys, you could actually get a decent lap time. I think if you got caught by yourself, it was you started to struggle when the tyres came off. So, but really cool. Yeah, stoked about tonight. Really good.
Absolutely. And what are you looking forward to for next week's round on the calendar.
Oh, where are we next week? I've got no idea, to be honest.
Sandown.
Oh, Sandown. Yeah, oh, that'd be a good one. I don't think I've actually done too much on that track, actually. So that'd be a nice one to do a little bit of practice through the week. And yeah, I love all the Aussie tracks. I think they're a heap of fun. And yeah, it should be good. Hopefully I can take this consistency and a bit of pace through the Sandown. It'd be nice.
Alrighty, another incredible run for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, just Trevor Mortimer and Rogue Racing. He always helps me out, and so do the Koala Cartel boys. Always willing to help and yeah, get me out there and getting better every week.
Alrighty, we appreciate you, Ash, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Thanks, mate. Much appreciated. Thanks again.
Yes, sir. There is our AM winner, Ash Glover. And now Tyler's going to talk to the Pro-Am winner of Thomas Sonny Cena.
Hello.
Hey, Thomas, congratulations. You got 2 wins and a P2 in the first race. I've got to say, it's almost a perfect night for you. How was it out there for you?
It was pretty good. I mean, it was very exhausting on the old noggin, but it was really good fun. It was really good fun. Like it felt a lot like a NASCAR race rather than a Toyota race with all the drafting. But yeah, it was a blast. I really enjoyed it.
I was going to say, you were definitely having a box seat with all the cars ahead of you battling left, right, and center, and you just sitting back a bit, just waiting to pounce if they make a big mistake. You know, I think I had 3 top 10 finishes as well. What was your game going into tonight? You know that it's a draft track going into the main straight. Did you deliberately stay back, or were you just trying to stick with the leaders as much as possible?
Yeah, well, going into practice, it's a track I'm typically quick at, but in this kind of car, maybe not so much. So I was a bit nervous going into practice, thinking I probably won't be too high up the end. But then once we got into the racing and I realized I was sort of hanging off the back of the front guys, I was like, this is actually not a bad spot. So I did actually sit back a bit on purpose because at least in race 3, I knew I was in the lead of Pro-Am. So I just knew sort of if I didn't do anything dumb and I sat back, I could hopefully I could capitalize on it. So I sat back, had a drink, watched everybody knock 7 bells out of each other, and that seemed to work pretty well, I think.
I think you also, well, in the third race, you had a bit of a scare as well coming to the hairpin, how 3 cars that come flying across the track in front of you. What was it like in that moment?
Well, yeah, no, so I was going into the hairpin and I'm thinking everything's perfectly cool, there's no one around me. I then glanced up in my mirrors and I saw three cars go exit stage left off the circuit. I'm thinking that doesn't look good. So I just decided to back up the corner just a little bit, just in case something happened. And lo and behold, I turned it for the corner and they all came flying across my windscreen. I'm like, oh, okay, that works. Because I was just saying to a friend that if I had continued on in that hairpin at racing speed, I probably would have been where Kyle was, and I probably would have been annihilated by those 3. So I'm very glad that I noticed that in my mirror.
Obviously, well done for the awareness there. Obviously, you kept yourself safe and put yourself in a really good position at the very end. So who do you want to thank for tonight's race, mate?
Well, look, I want to thank Sudspeed because they're SLM sponsor, and I want to thank Matt and Doug and Kyle because they teach me a lot of the things I know. I want to thank this guy in the chat. I think his name is Tyler Sheaf because he's a very good teammate. I want to thank, I just want to thank everybody at SLM because they're the ones who get me out here. Even when I have a bad night, they tell me to look on the bright side. And I get back into it, and then these sort of things happen because they are so persistent and so nice. So I couldn't do it without them.
Congratulations for tonight, and hopefully for the rest of the season you have the same luck, mate.
Well, thank you guys, and hopefully you have a good time interviewing everybody else.
Thank you, Thomas.
No worries. Ciao, guys. Thank you.
Alrighty, and now time to talk to our 3rd place runner of Callan Hodgkinson. Callan, James in the booth, you got a copy.
Yeah, go on. How are you?
God, all right. Heck of a run for you out there. You were making some great moves and able to bring home first podium of the season.
Yeah, it was awesome fun. First race was a bit of a doozy. I not the best one run, and sort of managed to get myself a good position for race 3, and then it was awesome. That front from those 6 or 7 guys were just having a slipstream battle, and yeah, it was that's what it's all about. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, what was it like out there? Because it was pretty much just one big draft battle for the win in all 3 races. That had to be so much fun.
Yeah, it was we had a big battle with Sean Doyle and obviously Carter Dines, and it was just hard to get a slipstream, but it was just hard to make a pass, and it was just very tight racing. And managed to get a move on that last lap and get on the podium, and then I ran a bit too deep into Lukey on the last lap, and I was on comms with Carter, and I was able to tell him to sort of stay a bit wide. So, and then I got his slipstream and managed to hold on to it. But thanks to Sean Doyle, we had a good battle. He's a good hard racer, and all the other top guys. It was good fun all around.
Yeah, and take us through what was going through your mind in that massive accident in the hairpin with the 3 cars sliding in from nowhere. That had to be crazy to watch.
I saw it in my review. It just missed me. I was lucky to escape that one. But yeah, it looked fairly big. It looked a few cars, so it was good to not be involved in that one for once.
Yeah, it was definitely one of the gnarliest wrecks we've seen in the series, but a fantastic job for you to bring home first podium of the season. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Blackout OPR, Shunt Scenery, Palmerston Bakery, Destruction Sim Supply, DSM Painting and Decorating, Ground to Earth, and then simrigs.com. Thanks to those guys, you guys for the broadcast, and SRW for the league. Cheers.
All righty, we appreciate you, Callan. Hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
All right, now Tyler's going to talk to our runner-up on the night.
Congratulations, Carter. You there, mate?
Yeah.
Yeah, congratulations on P2 in the very last race. You were in the battle seconds in from the get-go, from Heat 1, Heat 2, and Heat 3. Unfortunately, you didn't get the win tonight, but I think you would be very happy with your result.
Yeah, no, I couldn't be happier with just so stressful out there. I'm just happy that the stars kind of aligned in the last few laps and I made it up there.
You've done an awesome job. What was it like at times there were 10 cars within 2 seconds of each other. Like, what was the pressure like just to not make that big mistake and fall out in that draft?
Well, I mean, I did make a couple of mistakes, so it's definitely, you're always looking for someone to die on your inside or something like that. Like, you never feel safe. So, I mean, there was a couple of times where I went a bit deep and lost a few spots, but, just as easily it can come back and same thing can happen my way. So, yeah, it's just feels almost like a game of luck sometimes.
Now, obviously, like, it was chaotic. I know for sure that there was a couple of incidents behind you as well that happened and a couple ahead of you. What's it like just the first time when you see someone that's about to make a mistake or has made a mistake? What goes through your mind? Do you try to back out and just try to stay out of it, or do you try to commit to what you do and you go, if you get caught up in it, that so be it?
Well, lately I've been of the just flat stick approach and just pray. It worked for me. It was either last week or the week before. I went from like 30th to 8th or something like that. Literally just like flat stick through all the carnage, and it just worked out. And there was one incident this race that was kind of edging on I might not make it, but I managed to get around him, and it all kind of worked out.
Yeah, no, you've done a great job tonight. So what's your goal for next week at Sandown? You same approach, and it's pretty similar to this where you got a bit of a drag fest and a couple of corners to make some overtakes?
Yeah, I mean, it's survive is, I guess, the main goal usually on a week-to-week basis. There's just so many cars out there and so much carnage. It's, just at least finishing the race not in last is a great goal.
I definitely know that feeling. So who do you want to thank for tonight? All your teams and sponsors or anything like that?
Well, no sponsors, unfortunately. The racing team name is kind of just a collective of my dad and I, rather than a business or anything. But yeah, just my dad for being out there and racing with me, and Cal as well. Good mates with Cal. That was a good finish with me and him in that last race, and yeah, just all my family that tunes in and watches and supports. It's always nice. But yeah, no businesses to shout out, unfortunately.
Hopefully, after that stellar performance, someone gets a bit of a glance of your performance and join you on board.
Yeah.
Good luck, and we'll catch you next week, mate.
Yeah, you too. See ya.
Yeah.
All right, now time to talk to the man of the hour, Kyle Ridley, the race winner. Kyle, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Hello.
Well, it's been a long time coming. You were knocking on the door a lot in the first few races of the season, and now finally able to bring home the first dub of this season.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to being the bridesmaid, but it's been a little while since I've won an SRWA, so definitely happy with it. Used to being on podium, but standing up to the top with a pretty good race, not gonna lie, and yeah, happy with that.
Yeah, there was some crazy battles going on, and you were involved in pretty much all of them. First of all, take us through the photo finish there with your Kyle in race 2.
I was told he had a penalty, so I actually let him through, but I don't think he has a penalty, so that was a bit of a misjudgment. But he made a small mistake halfway through the lap, so I tried to get back at him, and I just had a little bit of nose damage. It probably cost me those 200s, but nonetheless, it's a solid P2 for race 2.
Absolutely, and take us through race 3. First of all, how much of that big wreck in the first hairpin did you see?
I don't done. Eyes forward.
Yeah, you might want to look back on that. You dodged a pretty big bullet there. But,
I always find the field's pretty good, the top 15, and then it gets a little congested, a little argy-bargy for back there where these kind of incidents happen. But I'll give it a watch back.
Yeah, absolutely. And what was going through your mind when Gowns and Doyle got together towards the end of the race that helped give you that gap to get out of the draft range from everyone?
Yeah, well, I think Doug had an incident with Doyle, which scammed me that bit of a gap, and then the guys behind, rather than work together, kept battling each other, which was great for me, and just was able to close it in, get the win.
Absolutely. And what are you looking forward to next week for Sandown?
Oh, Sandown. I mean, you got 2 straights and a couple hairpins and chicanes. I'm not too sure. I mean, Phillip Island's not my favorite. It's more, to me, this is a motorcycle track, 2 wheels only, but we made it work. I mean, for these kind of cars, it's honestly more like a NASCAR circuit. So, you know, more like a mile and a half track for these kind of cars, just slightly lifting off these corners. But Sandown will be interesting. We'll just play it by ear. I'm sure there'll be battle packs and just try and become the cream that rises to the top.
Absolutely. Well, a fantastic win for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you'd like to give before we let you go?
Yeah, I've got a few. I would love to shout out my team, SLM Motorsport, and the City SLM Academy. We did quite well tonight with Thomas getting himself a win. Doug bit unlucky, but you know, that's how life goes sometimes. Want to thank yourselves for the commentary. I'm sure it'll be a great broadcast and incidents I didn't know existed. And I want to say a special hello to Mr. Tyler Sheaf, who I did not know was in here.
Hello.
Where you been?
Yeah, I've been here the whole time, mate. Unfortunately, this is one of my favourite tracks, but I think it might have saved me as well. I reckon I would have been caught in a couple of dramas tonight. So happy to watch it rather than be involved in it for once.
Yeah, all in all, had a good race.
That you did, and we appreciate you, Kyle, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Hopefully, I'll catch you then.
All right, there's your race winner, Kyle Ridley, and I believe that just about does it for us tonight. Tyler, what are your closing thoughts on another action-packed night of racing here?
Oh, absolutely what I thought. It was coming in a bit of a drag fest, a fair bit of battle packs everywhere. It can be chaotic. Unfortunately, in these cars, these aren't the easiest cars to make it overtake, and sometimes you gotta try and make an attack. And unfortunately, for some drivers, it didn't pay off, and others it did. Like there were some fantastic moves out there that I couldn't believe that people pulled off, and sometimes people make mistakes as well. But obviously, fully action packed from start to finish, and I enjoyed the whole night.
Absolutely, and I think everyone else did as well. But with that, it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. For my broadcast partners, Tyler Sheaf and Kobe Jordan, I'm James Watson, bidding you adieu until next week. Good night, everyone.